Hi, my name's Kaya and I'm from Gerald Edelman and I'm here with Yannis from Simply Clinics today in Uxbridge. So Yannis, can you just tell me a little bit about how you got started at Simply Clinics?
Hi, so I'm Yannis. I'm the founder and CEO of Advanced Aesthetics Partners, which is a company that partners with aesthetics clinics and then helps them grow and professionalize. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and the problem that I always had was that I couldn't find an idea. And also I know that I'm not very good at starting something from scratch, from ground zero. So when I learned about the search fund model where you get involved as an entrepreneur with an existing established business, I loved it. And I was like, yes, that's for me. And I really want to become an entrepreneur because I like the idea of being directly invested on your work, on the results of your work. I like that you build a small community around you and these are like your team. It's not just colleagues that in bigger companies change all the time. I really decided to quit my job back at McKinsey and get involved in the industry more. So what I did was I started approaching other doctors and suggesting partnering with them, explaining how I, even though I am not really a doctor, could help them grow their business and professionalize it. Yeah, and at the same time help them focus on what they love most, which is treating their patients. Initially it was a little bit tricky because I'm not a doctor really, and not only that, I'm actually terrified of needles. But then slowly I started learning more about the industry, and even though I cannot actually inject, I know everything behind it, which helped me establish connections.
What is it that attracted you to the aesthetics industry and specifically investing into aesthetic clinics?
So at first it was the opportunity, like it's an industry that is growing very fast, it's a new industry, a lot of startups, not big companies. So initially I saw the opportunity of building a great business in a great industry. But as I started learning more and getting more and more involved, I also realized that it actually has a benefit to our patients too. We like to think that we help people look good and feel good, and I've actually seen it when I spend my time here in the clinics. Yeah, in summary, I think that there is a good opportunity business-wise, but I also think that I'm helping people feel better about themselves.
So what is your level of involvement in the clinics themselves, beyond sort of financial investment and obviously being the founder?
Yeah, so I'm actually in the clinics every day. I'm very hands-on. I like discussing with our patients, I like discussing with our staff. I do a lot of strategizing and like thinking where we can go next, but to do that you need to really know what's happening inside your clinic and make sure that everyone has the same vision, everyone is aligned on, the most important thing we want to do is not make money, but offer a great service and have a good reputation and help people feel better. So another searcher who had worked with him introduced me to Carl, and he spoke very highly of him. So I thought of reaching out, and I understood why he spoke highly of him. So Carl was immediately very helpful. He's very knowledgeable on the search fund model in the UK. Not just that, he also helped me with negotiating the deal. For example, he told me what are market terms, what are not market terms. With some debt providers, he also came with me and negotiated on my behalf, which was extremely helpful. And again, it's not just your accountant. He's like an advisor of yours, 360, like he introduces me to deals. He helps me rationalize, he helps me understand better my businesses by looking at my books. So yeah, I would definitely continue work with Carl.
So what due diligence have you conducted on the clinic's financials, business model and management team, and why was it important for you to do this?
So due diligence is actually super important, especially at the size of the businesses we are dealing with. We are partnering with relatively small businesses that are also led by doctors, not like business people. So we need to make sure that we understand the company and what drives it, and that everything is set up properly. We are looking at the aestheticians and the doctors and make sure that they're very well trained, they have good reputation, and so on and so forth. We look at patient satisfaction and how often and how many of first-time patients return to the clinic. So that's the first step, like making sure that it is like a quality, well-reputable clinic. And then we dive into the financial due diligence, which is also extremely important and very, very difficult to do. And I'm very lucky that I was with Gerald Edelman, with GE, helping me in that, and with Carl. So the challenge here is, again, because it's a small business, the financials are messy. You cannot really just look at the report and understand what's happening. You need someone to dive in, get their hands dirty, clean things, and then summarize it in a nice way, which is what GE helped me do. I think that's the whole nature of being an entrepreneur, like constantly facing issues and constantly trying to solve them. Otherwise, it would be too easy. It's just you who has to handle all this. It's very different to everything you've ever done before, but it's been quite a fun process. Fun, fast-paced, and fulfilling.